Hello, my name is Stanley Heller. Welcome to The Struggle. The Struggle is shown on 20 cable stations from Vermont to New York City and 24/7 on the internet at thestruggle.org. On the program today, video of the December 27th meeting and march in Hartford, Connecticut on the one-year anniversary of the Gaza massacre. It was an effort to publicize the journey of over 1,400 Americans and people of other countries to Egypt and then onto the Gaza Strip for a huge march to protest the siege of Gaza. But as the event neared, it became clear that the Egyptian dictatorship would not allow people to go to Gaza from Egypt. And so the meeting turned out to be a protest of the Egyptian regime as much as the Israeli apartheid government. We'll have video of Nada Khader and other speakers and of the symbolic march to the Federal Building in Hartford, Connecticut. I'll close with an expression of disgust over the massacre of 8 school children in Kunar Province, Afghanistan, evidently at the hands of U.S. forces.
We don't want this racist war. 5, 6, 7, 8. Open up the gate. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want this racist war. 5, 6, 7, 8. Open up the Rafah gate.
A year ago today, U.S.-made Israeli planes blew to pieces 200 policemen and bystanders, starting a monstrous attack that most of the world knows simply as the Gaza massacre. As Richard Falk, the UN Special Rapporteur on Palestine, said, it was essentially a large-scale military action against a defenseless population. There was no war. There was no battles. The jets and helicopters and missiles had no opposition. Israeli journalist Reuven Pedatzur pointed out that to protect soldiers, the Israeli military was willing to make the Palestinian population pay any price. This thinking is the exact opposite of the requirements of the Geneva Convention, which demands that civilians be protected even in war. This twisted thinking was the inspiration of 3 weeks of Israeli military crimes against humanity. And what a price Palestinians paid. 43 dead on the school grounds of Jabalia camp. 3 daughters killed in the house of a Palestinian doctor who worked in Israel. The assassination of a Hamas leader who was killed with 14 members of his family. 20 ambulances destroyed. White phosphorus shells that burned people horribly, including Ghada Abu Halima, who died slowly over 12 weeks. The mangled flesh from flechette shells, the killing of 29 members of the Samuni family, the shooting of people carrying white flags, the bombing of graveyards, the using of Palestinians as human shields, the killing of 412 children. 1,400 people in all killed, 20,000 houses and buildings damaged or destroyed, and lasting mental anguish for 1.4 million people. Oh, we are told we bleeding hearts forgot the attacks from Gaza, the intolerable homemade missiles raining on Sderot. No, we did not forget them, and we did not applaud them. Human rights groups justly criticized these useless attacks on Israeli civilians. But did the Israeli government apologists ever criticize the years of missile and artillery attacks on Gaza before the massacre? The thousands of modern artillery shells that devastated Beit Hanun and other parts of Gaza, sometimes wiping out whole families. And when did they ever mention the root cause of the violence? The stealing of land and water, the exile of refugees, the walls, the checkpoints, the racism, the apartheid. They slander us as haters of Jews, But Israeli Jews like Jeff Halper, Leah Semmel, Uri Davis, Susan Nathan, Uri Avneri, and Jessica Montel call on us to take action to stop Israeli abuses, and we stand in solidarity with them. One year after the massacre and the siege continues, though the Hamas ceasefire has held and the firing of Qassams virtually ended, though Hamas has offered to abide by a two-state solution, the siege continues and ever worsens. Egypt and the Obama administration collaborate with Israel. They are now building a 7-mile-long, 18-meter-deep steel wall on the Gaza-Egypt border to destroy the tunnels of survival. And the killing continues. Just yesterday, 3 workers who were either gathering scrap metal or trying to get into Israel to their jobs were killed by Israeli soldiers. We gather here today to raise our voices to say no and to demand an end to the killings and the siege. Stop starving the people of Gaza. Lift the blockade now.